Three, two, one. Here we go. So, I want to talk about goals because I think goals are a really important aspect to success and to reaching more accomplishments in your life. And it's crazy how many people do not have any goals and they just go to work every single day and they wonder, why is it I'm still here? Why is it I'm still in this job that I don't like after all these years? Well, the answer is because you don't have any goals. You're not trying to set something up for your life to take you to the next level. So you're just going in day to day and doing the very basic to get by. In order to be successful, I really think goals are critical. I know from personal experience that goals have been really helpful for me. Now, I'm no means a success story at this particular point in my life, but I've noticed some significant increases in growth just because I set some goals. And just as an example, I've been setting up monthly goals for myself, and in January I made more money freelancing than I did the month before. And then in February I made more money in February than I did in January. So I'm seeing this progressive growth, and it's because I decided to put a revenue number down and say, this is the number I want to reach in terms of freelancing revenue. And the fact is had I not set any goals, there's no way I would have earned that money. There's no way. Because the reason why I earn that money is because I set goals and I set processes to reach those goals. Without the goals, I wouldn't have had any processes in place. I wouldn't have had any discipline towards trying to achieve this goal. So I think goal setting is really critical. And the thing that I see a lot of people doing, even if you're setting goals, what you want to do is not just set and forget it. You want to review your goals. And at the very least, you should be reviewing your top end goals once a month. Like, I just finished a review for February of all my goals. So I look through my list and I determine like what were the shortcomings, what were the successes, what can I improve on. So I'm actively reviewing how I did in the month. I'm giving myself a good hard look and a really honest look at my life and saying, what did I do that was great, and then what can I do to improve? And I think this is what you need to do, is not just set goals, but review your accomplishments in the past, because that'll help motivate you into the next month. So I've been playing around with quarterly, monthly, and daily goals. And I'd like to break down what those mean. Quarterly would be some main objective that you're trying to reach. So for me, I did a $15,000 revenue goal for January, February, March. So this is one quarter, 3 months. So I have 90 days to reach $15,000 in revenue. Now, I don't know if I'm going to make it there, to be honest. I think it was an ambitious goal in the fact that I don't have any kind of revenue coming in other than from freelancing and books. So I don't have enough streams that are successful here because they're relatively new revenue streams, and it could be challenging. So I've got 1 month left to go to see what I can do. But I wanted to be ambitious. I wanted to challenge myself. And that being said, I've made more money than I would have had I not set this goal. So I'm proud of that aspect. So I've set this quarterly goal, $15,000 in revenue, and then I'd set the tasks necessary to get to that goal so that I have to accomplish every single day. Now, this is where I think I struggled, and this is maybe why I'm not getting to the forecasted amount that I'd like to. It's because my daily processes have not been fine-tuned to reach this revenue goal. There's certain actions I need to be doing on a daily basis, and I haven't quite fine-tuned what those are. I'm doing a lot of different things, but I haven't really nailed down what those daily hustle habits are that will get me to the 15,000. So that's what I'm struggling with. Now, I need to take another good hard look and figure out, as I'm getting close to the next quarter, what can I do to maybe achieve this for the next quarter, or tweak it and determine, well, what would be a reasonable goal and what are the real tasks that I need to be doing every single day. Not just once every couple weeks, but what am I doing every single day to get there? And I think that's where I struggle. Now, what's great is I did do a lot of tasks that I wouldn't have done before. I studied online ads in order to figure out how I can accelerate my sales growth. So that's been really helpful. I've been learning lots there. And I barely even reviewed it since I wrote it down. But the fact that I wrote it down as part of a task to reach this revenue goal, it's incredible that I've been able to just subconsciously do these activities. It's like I'm doing all the different pieces necessary, but there's probably a lot more that I need to be doing. And it's something I need to review for sure. This is my quarterly goal, and I'm trying to break it down. You're almost essentially reverse engineering the goal that you've set for your quarter. So you're trying to reverse engineer it, determine what are the steps necessary to get up to that number. And I think that's where I struggled, is the reverse engineering portion of this. I don't think I did as good a job as I could have. And this is all about preparation, right? Goal preparation is really critical. And that when you're putting these goals together, the more you write down, the more likely you'll be successful with this goal. If you write down all the necessary steps, then you'll be more likely to get to that goal. And it's no different from exercise, right? If you just write down, I want to be 150 pounds. Well, what are the steps necessary to get there? What do you have to do daily? How many times a week do you have to exercise? What is your diet looking like? These are all different things you need to write down and get really clear on. And the more words you write down, the clearer you'll be. So that's what you got to look at with this quarterly goal. Now, the quarterly, you don't have to be looking at every single day, but it's something to maybe look at every week, just to remind yourself, hey, this is my goal, this is what I need to accomplish. What you'll want to do is create a number of mini goals throughout the year. And this is another component that I have, and it's my monthly goals. And these are just activities that impact my finances, career, relationships, my health, and just my social, my spiritual. So all these different little activities I need to do on a monthly basis, or I need to achieve these markers, these goal markers on a monthly basis. And I have a long list of them, everything from completing 5 hikes this year that are over 4 hours long each, or completing a triathlon. So these are just these are goals to keep in my mind that I need to review monthly and determine, am I on the right track with these? So quarterly, you have this main goal as for the quarter, and then these monthly goals are these things that you should be reviewing and seeing what you're doing. Another example is, I need to exercise 20 plus times a month. So that's just an activity goal, and it will help with my health and fitness. So these little monthlies are important, and I review them every month. So they're not always on my mind. The revenue goal is the main one for me at this particular point. But these little mini goals sort of wrap into my overall well-being, my overall successes. So it's important to have these monthly goals. And then I get into like daily goals, and I call them like to-dos. So my daily is like, I have a checklist. I have different activities I need to do. There's 11 different activities. And if I do 9 or more, I've had a great day. If I do 5 to 9, 5 to 8 different activities in the day. That means I've had a good day. And then if it's 4 or below, then that means I've had a bad day. So the intention is to not have any bad days. And I want to have as many great days as possible. And the way I need to do that is to achieve 9 out of the 11 tasks. So this is sort of something I've been playing around with recently, and I haven't quite nailed it down yet. I'm still trying to figure out, again, like I said, with the daily hustle, I'm trying to figure out what these daily habits are that I both want to do so that I have joy to do these, so I'm motivated to do them when I wake up, and what are the necessary things that'll help me achieve my overarching revenue goal. So these daily goals should be things that help with your quarterly. And things like creating this podcast, this has been incredible. I've been doing this every day, and I'm thinking, well, this is being done because it's on my daily. I'm doing this daily, and whether I get views or not, this is part of my daily routine, and it's almost ingrained into me. I've already done about 16 straight, and it's incredible. I don't know why I've got this momentum. And then I'm thinking, well, this is part of my checklist. I have this daily checklist of to-dos, of 11 to-dos, and I need to accomplish them. And it's best to get these to-dos over with early in the day. Because if you get them all over with, then you have time to relax, you can enjoy yourself, you can reward yourself at the end of the day with some relaxation or whatnot. So that's what you need to do. I think rewarding yourself is really important. Reward yourself for being successful in your daily tasks, because if you're not doing that, then you're essentially not motivating yourself to do these tasks. And I struggle sometimes to come up with a topic to speak about on this podcast. So it's really important that I have these daily to-dos so that it keeps me on point. It's like I have a list of different topics. So if I ever struggle to come up with something unique, I'll just go to my list of topics and I'll choose something from there. Sometimes I'll use notes to put something together, but other times I just want to speak about what's on my mind. And I think that's really important. So for instance, this topic on goals just came to me because I was reviewing my goals last night and I'm thinking, I need to talk about this. This is something that others might find value from. So I decided, well, I'm going to sit down today and just talk about goals. Without any notes or anything, I'm just going to talk about what I know and what's been working for me. So that's what you should be looking at, and I wouldn't bog yourself down with too many different goals. So you might have your 10 or 11 tasks that you want to do in a day. Maybe it's 5, that's okay. As long as they're important tasks that you find are valuable and that will help enrich and enhance your day. So that's what you want to figure out. Your quarterly goal should be something really simple, something that you can really track and figure out. So that's what you want to determine. And maybe it's not a revenue goal. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a health goal. I don't know. Maybe it's I want to get this job goal. It really depends on what you're trying to do there. Your monthly goals, I have about 15 monthly goals, but some of them are really basic, like hang out with friends every 3 months, or the other ones, eat healthy, or it's exercise 20 times. Well, those are just daily habits. So it's just a confirmation of what I'm doing. So those tasks are really important. And, another one's maybe a relationship goal. What am I doing with my girlfriend to enhance our relationship? So things I don't always have to be reviewing every day, but things that I need to be thinking about so that I can enhance my life month by month. So I'm still playing around with the overall structure, but I like the idea of doing daily, monthly, and then quarterly. I feel like that keeps me on track, keeps me on point with what I'm doing every day. So that's what I would recommend, is figuring that out. And it's really powerful. Successful people are setting goals, and they're planning out and they're mapping out their days, their weeks, their months. They're really figuring this stuff out. And not only that, they're reviewing their goals. So I think it's really important to set all this up. And I'm just doing this from personal experience. I'm talking about this from personal experience. So it depends on what your workflow is. But certainly for me, having goals is helping me grow better than if I didn't have goals. So it gives you some aims. It gives you some structure. It gives you something that you can work on. And no question, that's really critical if you want to stand out in this world and make something of yourself. Numerous studies have been shown to suggest that people with goals are more successful than people without. So I encourage you to put something together. You don't need any special apps. You don't need any special tools. All my stuff is on a spreadsheet. Maybe yours is on a journal that you write in. I'm kind of more towards the paperless end, but there's plenty of different journals I've experimented with, which has been really helpful with structuring my months, and definitely it's worthwhile. Have a calendar as well. Use your calendar and put these daily tasks in there so that you know this is what I need to do no matter what. And just get into this habit to the point where it's so authentic that you're just waking up and you know, boom, 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 this is what I need to do. So if you plan all that out, I think you'll have a great chance at accomplishing what you want in life. And I don't think it ever stops. Even once you retire, I think having these goals is critical. So it depends. It really doesn't matter at what stage of your life you're in. You could be 13 years old. You could be 65 years old. You should have some goals that you're working towards. There's a level of attractiveness and confidence that comes from somebody who is working towards something. And maybe they don't have it all figured out, but if they've got some goals written down and they're plugging away, they're struggling to put it all together, like myself, then it's something to admire. It's something to respect. And I think that's what you want to look at when you're putting this all together. So anyway, let me wrap this up. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I hope that you'll subscribe and follow and enjoy this content. And I'm probably thinking about creating some courses about different topics and whatnot. I'm trying to determine the particular niches, but I want to experiment with courses and trying to educate people. I think it's been really great doing this on YouTube, and I want to expand my reach and give more in terms of value. And I hope this is giving consistent value, and I want to keep doing this as well. So definitely we'll stay tuned with that. But until the next one, thank you and cheers.